Right, so Big Ed and Liz are getting ready for round 2 of their argument in the middle of Liz packing up her things in Arkansas. So a few weeks after Ed called off the wedding, Liz moved back to San Diego and sent Riley off to be with her father. Initially, Liz only packed 1 suitcase to take with her, so now, around a month later, she's back collecting the rest of her belongings. However, she hasn't come alone. Too scared to face Ed by herself, she's brought her mum Patty along with her. Well, unsurprisingly, barely 5 minutes into packing up the kitchen, Big Ed started an argument, which shortly escalated to Ed telling Patty that she didn't raise Liz right and that she abandoned her. As a result, it all became too much for Liz and she stormed off in tears. Eventually though, Liz left the bathroom and finished packing up. So now she's taking a moment to compose herself before she heads down and says goodbye to Ed for what might be the final time.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna see him again. So I know I have to say goodbye to him, but I just want to get my stuff out and leave.
Does she have to say goodbye to him though? I mean, especially in this state following that argument, what is the point? Is she really going to feel any more closure speaking to him one last time? Well, not to give too much away, but after what's coming up, she's going to wish she just left him alone.
I don't know how you go from loving someone so much to just wishing that they didn't even exist.
Damn, that took a savage turn. I thought she was going to say, how do you go from loving someone to never seeing them again? But to wish that he didn't even exist is cold. I'm not sure how this feeling is a surprise to her though, given she's been through 2 divorces, especially given at least one of them was supposedly not a very nice person.
I understand why Liz is pissed off at me. Okay, I canceled the wedding. But for her to come in with her mom and just fly off the handle, this is the main reason why I ended our relationship.
Now he's trying to gaslight us again, despite the fact that the whole thing was caught on camera and we watched it all unfold. Liz isn't mad because he called off the wedding, she's mad because he left in the middle of the night and ghosted her for several days, before calling off the wedding without even speaking to her and leaving her to find out from her friends. And she didn't just rock up at the house and kick off. He tried provoking her and then failed, and then provoked her mum Patty, and then they all kicked off at each other.
I'm sorry I blew up at your mom, but she was coming at me.
Doesn't matter, Ed. You need to learn how to talk to women, period. Doesn't matter who comes at you.
Well,
just know.
That's hearsay.
That is not what hearsay is, and it isn't even close, you little divvy. Hearsay is essentially just saying something you heard from another source. Literally just hearsay. But that's not what Liz is doing at all. She's just voicing her opinion. I think he's just trying to go for the whole, that's just your opinion, man, type of response, but trying to sound way more intelligent than he actually is, and failing miserably.
Yeah, but
Thank you for your apology. There's no excuse.
Thank you.
Own it. You should have done
it.
You don't talk to women that way, period.
For goodness sakes, they can't even say goodbye without bickering. How they stayed together for 3 years and ended up engaged is so perplexing, it's almost impressive. Liz will not back down about making her point, and Ed cannot bring himself to admit fault or allow her to have the last word.
Okay, your mom wasn't being a woman. She was being a...
Just
How
stop.
did I embed?
Stop.
Liz,
See,
you're being
this is what we're not.
ridiculous.
Just, you owned up to it.
Okay,
Take an
fine.
apology,
Got
but
it.
don't make excuses.
Got it. Fine.
It is still no less shocking watching them interact like this, despite the fact that it's like the billionth time. It's like Liz is one of those authoritarian teachers and Ed is a stubborn kid. I remember kids being like this in my school class growing up, and it used to absolutely do my nut in. But seeing this behaviour from a 57-year-old man is a whole new level. And I know he said fine at the end of that clip as if it's all over, but obviously it isn't.
I have a request from you.
You don't get no requests, Ed.
I want you to learn from this experience.
You learned from it, Ed.
I want you to
I've already
learn.
learned.
Have you?
Ugh, he is so patronising. Of all the things I thought he was going to ask, that she learned from it has to be one of the most infuriatingly provocative. What an insufferable little man. It's like he's realised that she's right and that she's put him in his place about speaking respectfully to women, and just tried to flip the whole thing on Liz to save face.
I'm worried about your next relationship. I want you to be happy.
My next relationship?
And if you don't change, you're never going to be happy.
If I don't change.
Correct.
If I don't change.
If you don't change.
Says the one who can't talk to a fucking woman.
Right, why does she keep phrasing it like that? Some people, not necessarily myself, might start to feel personally attacked by this whole can't speak to women nonsense. He's not unable to talk to them, he's unable to speak to them respectfully. There's an important distinction. Anyway, Liz then gets annoyed at Ed for bringing up her next relationship when all she wanted to do was say goodbye.
Oh my
I'm
God,
not talking about a relationship, Ed. I'm trying to say goodbye to you, and you're trying to bring up the next guy that comes into my life? Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, next up, Ed tries to flip the whole thing on Liz all over again. But first, a quick message in relation to today's paid partnership with BetterHelp. Breakups are hard, and so are many things in life. But thankfully, whatever you're dealing with, you don't have to go through it alone, because therapy can give you the tools to approach your life in a very different way. Unfortunately, finding a therapist can be hard, and finding the right therapist can be even harder. That is why BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy accessible. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easy because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out just a few questions, BetterHelp can match you with a credentialed therapist in as little as a few days. And if you don't really fit with that therapist, which is a common thing with therapy, you can easily switch to a new one at no additional cost. It's so easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. All you have to do is click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/arthurtv. Not only does that link help support this channel, it also gets you 10% off your first month with BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. So if you're struggling with anything at all, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Huge thank you to BetterHelp for supporting this channel. Now let's find out what Ed's plan is to make this somehow Liz's fault.
Liz, you don't know how to talk to men.
You're not a man, Ed. You're a fucking child.
Okay, bye. Have a nice life.
Him being immature like this makes her point for her, but him being 4'10" and squeaking out that reply just doubles down on it all, and you just know it hurts him. And the whole cliched "have a nice life" is such a Disney Channel dunk. I remember being like 8 years old and having this teacher I didn't like, and waiting all year for it to end just so I could go up to him and be like, "Goodbye, Mr. Smith, and good riddance." I never did it, but I thought it would be one of the coldest lines ever. But then I literally turned 9 years old and was like, that is lame as hell. And Ed is still doing this stuff aged 57.
God, I
Liz,
hate
you're so
you.
triggered.
I fucking hate you so much.
You're so triggered.
Fuck you, Ed.
Wasn't the first time I heard that.
That does not reflect well on you either, Ed. And nor does spamming "you're triggered" like a 14-year-old edgelord in the comment section of a feminist get-owned compilation video. It's just tragic. To be honest though, I'm surprised Patty isn't jumping in here. I mean, she probably also now realizes that it's pointless, but the way they're speaking to each other is absolutely horrendous.
My heart is trying to say goodbye. His is not there.
They are both awful, but if she really just wanted to say goodbye and get out of there, she should have just dropped the whole "you need to learn how to speak to women" point. Don't get me wrong, it is a valid one that certainly does need making, but there is no way it's getting through to him coming from her now. She'll obviously be sparing some thought to the next woman that he encounters romantically, but he's not her problem anymore.
The love was real, but I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's better to have to start over than to be in the wrong relationship.
Right, I said he was correct when he made this point 5 episodes ago, but I'm getting sick of it now. The only thing that continues to surprise me is the fact that they're staying apart. I was expecting him to have taken her back by now, but he seems shockingly detached from it all. Like, he doesn't seem heartbroken, he seems rattled and like his ego is bruised. And that's all just because of this argument. How he can care so little about causing someone that he loved this much pain, not because they did anything wrong, just because they weren't right for each other, is so cold. It is hard to tell what's coming next, but whatever it is, make sure you're subscribed down below if you don't want to miss it. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.